Back to, I don't even know, would we even call it the Banana Republic now? Um, I don't know, what would you call this country now, because it's beyond the Banana Republic. But yeah, just I about to talk about the leaving sort and things like that, because a lot, I have to say, at the moment of time, the most amount of emails I ever sent in my 5 years nearly of doing this, is this in the last few months over the leaving sort to the Department of Education, to different ministers and to Norma Foley's office. Different people wanted me to send emails off to different people, to let them know the stress they're causing to leaving those students. And they still haven't made the mind up. They said they were going to make up the mind this week, but it's going to be next week. And you know what? As this title of the video might say, Eamon Ryan chimed in. And what I mean by chimed, he just can chime in for a second and fell asleep again. So, it's not really that relevant. So, nobody really cares about what the Green Party thinks. They're too busy trying to get as much money out of the carbon tax as they can. They couldn't care less about anything else. And then he wakes up. And he, what he says. And again, just what they said before saying this, fair play to the Leaving Cert students. They keep voicing their opinion. They keep the pressure on Norma Foley, and the government. They're not going to be silent. They're not going to stand down and say nothing. So you have to give them huge credit on that, and fair play to every one of them, because they're using their right to speak, and that's something that's great to see in young people. They're using their right and they're fighting for what they believe is right for them, for their future, and that's very commendable. But yeah, Eamon Ryan spoke and said there should be a traditional leaving. So the same as Norma Foley talking shite, out of touch completely with everything, just in their own cuckoo land. Eamon Ryan's probably dreaming about money or whatever, but he's spending half the time in Darlem sleeping. And he woke up and he probably wasn't in a daze and he didn't know where he was. So he said a traditional leaving sort. I don't know where he's living, but he must be living under a rock, because there was a poll done the other day, just for example. And I think there was either 5,000 people voted or 6,000, something between them lads. But yeah, 10% of the poll said to do a traditional leaving sort, or to have the traditional leaving sort. And 90% said, what, predicted grades or something along them lines. So that's a lot, that's a lot. Just take, for example, because the 60,000 leaving sorts. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. 90% is a huge amount of people that said they want that. And the government probably won't listen to them, because again, this country, everything has to be a big argument, a big fight about it. Because Norma Foley just refuses to listen to anybody. And again, we all know she's been up to some different herself. She's been wasting the taxpayers' money, €30,000 last year, down the drain, not to be seen again, given the private PR firm to try and cover up the mistake last year in the leaving cert. And she basically just done that, and just then she comes along and like, what is wrong with this woman? That's all I have to say. She can't make up her mind. She really can't make up her mind what she wants to do. And just kicking the can down the road as usual. It's not helping anxiety, and the Taoiseach did last time a few weeks ago. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place here, because I'm thinking off the top of my head about everything. But about 4 weeks ago, the Taoiseach came out me whole mouth and said, he said they need clarity, and the students and parents need clarity. And I was like, at the time, and I said it even on the video, fair play. At least he doesn't have much common sense, but at least he had a bit of common sense this time. I didn't know what he turned around and did. He couldn't give a fuck after that, and he just said that, and then didn't care less. And same as number 4, he couldn't care less. But yeah, again, the young people, we have to take care of our young people. It's been very tough on our young people, particularly mentally. And it's not the only what choice. Again, this is the thing. It's choice. It's just a choice, and they asked and they spoke, and they used their voices. And again, I think that's something that politicians should take into perspective. That again, they use their voices. Many people are afraid to speak up against things, and afraid to say things. But again, fair play to these leaving certs. As I know myself, the leaving certs have contacted me, and I got in touch with different minutes. I even brought some of them to local councils. I talked to local councils about what they said. And one in particular, I hope the person doesn't mind using, but I won't go into too much detail about it. That she's awake all night. She's worried. She is very nervous and very anxious about putting her family at risk. And just worried, generally worried, because she's trying to study. And it's all boiling up. This is the thing. This is what I'm trying to say. It's all boiling up. Everything that's happening in society is boiling up in this young year. And it's not fair. It's not fair in terms of all people like her that are stressed. Everything in society's, not seeing their friends, not being able to go out. All this is boiling up, and this is the thing I'm talking about. This is the thing the government don't understand, or Mary Butler, or any of them. It's boiling up on them. It's really, really boiling up, and it's boiling up not seeing your friends, not being able to go to discos, not being able to go to school, and not being able to do anything really meaningful in life, and not being able to go to parties, discos, etc., etc., etc. And that's not good for young minds to be thinking like that. They're thinking so negatively, that everything's so negative. And again, this is the thing they don't understand. This is, and Norman Foley hasn't bothered to talk to any students, as far as I know. Again, this is who Norman Foley has talked to. A blank piece of paper. She's talking to herself. But yeah, the only thing, my only advice is I always say to Norman Foley, cop on a bit. Just have a bit of cop on. Jesus name and Eamon Ryan, please go back to sleep and stay asleep, because nobody wants to listen to you. Thank you.